Super excited to break down this bantamweight beef. It's a 135 title fight between the Russian Petr Yan. He takes on Aljamain Sterling. I think it's non-negotiable. These two are the best 135ers in the game right now, and it's a stacked division. But Aljo and Yan top the list of just the most insane UFC bantamweight brawlers. I love both these guys' fighting styles. Aljamain being just so well rounded, having a brilliant wrestling base, legit Sarah BJJ black belt background, on top of being someone who just mixes in the kicks and punches at such a smooth, almost effortless level out there, a true mixed martial artist. But he's taking on the champ Petr Yan, whose stand up is just on another level. He's got absolute power with his hands and is someone who just walks you forward, has a high guard, seemingly not at all concerned with whatever you're going to be throwing his way because he's just always ready to unload a flurry of his own combos when you least expect it. His footwork, his technical striking is simply on another level. And at 28 years old, who even knows what Petr Yan's ceiling is? Aljo's no joke though. So what do you think? Are you rolling with the Funk Master, or does Petr simply show him no mercy?
Yeah, this is an insane fight, man. This whole card has absolutely been insane. All these
Crazy.
breakdowns are just absolute bangers. This one I'm very excited for because the Funk Master has, just been looking so good lately. His last opponent was Sandhagen, and he's been doing work as we saw him put out Frankie, which just speaks to the levels that the Funk Master is at. And no mercy, Petr Yan. I mean, he's obviously been doing work too, but I would say his fight resume isn't as impressive as Aljamain's. But that being said, if you look back out of the UFC, he does have some crazy wins, and uh, some of the grappling of this guy is so underrated in my opinion. I actually think he's going to out grapple the Funk Master, and that's why I'm going with Petr Yan. I think he's going to get it done with a KO, but I think Aljamain is going to try to grapple him the whole time and then soon realize I cannot take this guy or hold this guy down. He is too good and he is too strong and he hits like a train. And so I actually have Yan going knockout second round. Pretty bullish on that statement, to be honest.
I gotta admit, I'm pretty surprised with how bullish you are on Jan's ground game because he's definitely someone who's known for his boxing, known for his Muay Thai, and he's only a purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu, whereas Aljo's coming in with that legit black belt and D1 wrestling pedigree. So I think that Aljo's actually going to have an advantage when it comes to the ground game. I like the smaller apex cage because that was a huge factor in that Sandhagen fight that you referenced. And in that fight, Aljo made absolute quick work of Corey Sandhagen, took him down with ease, and managed to just get a gnarly submission within like 2 minutes or so. And like you mentioned, Sandhagen is no joke. He just had that knee from hell over Frankie Edgar, RIP. And I just think that the ground game is going to be Aljo's path to victory. But I think it might be a little bit more interesting on the feet than we think. Ultimately, the longer it does remain on the feet, I think Petr will have the advantage. I just think his crisp boxing is just on a whole nother level, and I just think that Aljo's path to victory will be on the ground. So I'm going to go with Aljo in this one. It's essentially a straight up pick 'em, and I'm pretty bullish on Aljo just because he's really been calling for this fight. I know he believes he can win this fight, and you mentioned the differing resumes. Aljo does have more professional experience, and we heard, interestingly enough, Sandhagen earlier this week saying that Yan isn't a guy who deserves to be calling his shots because the stars aligned, so to speak, and that's what really got him the title belt in the first place. And I think there's some merit to that because if we go through the resumes, I'm a little bit more impressed with Sterling's body of work. And I just think he's going to find a way to get this done over Yan. I don't know if it's going to be a finish or if it goes all 5 rounds, but I'm leaning Sterling. So any last thoughts on this 135 belt?
Yeah, no, this is an amazing fight, and yeah, I
So
100% agree with the Funk's resume. On paper, I think it is better, and does look better. But I think Petr Yan, if you guys go back to the 2017 era, there was a guy, pure grappler, probably one of the best, if not the best grappler in that division, Magomedov.
Magomedov.
And I challenge you guys to watch that fight if you haven't before you call me a Kazi, and why I'm saying Petr Yan is no joke on the ground. You're going to see some grappling skills that no one's even seen in the UFC yet, and that's why I think he's going to get it done. He's seen this before. He lost his first time versus that guy, then overcame adversity, and I really don't see him losing versus another grappler again after that one loss. So I think he's going to stay one loss and also undefeated in the UFC, and yeah, I think he's going to get it done pretty convincingly.
Yeah, good stuff. Love the Magomedov reference. That's a killer over in Bellator. He just made his debut not too long ago. Absolutely smashed this dude, and I think he's going to become the Petr Yan of Bellator over there. He's 17-1, a legit fellow Dagestani fighter. So an interesting matchup there. Very curious to see how this one materializes. I hope it hits the mat so we can see who wins the grappling exchanges. But nonetheless, super stoked for this one. He's going with Petr Yan. I got the Funk Master Aljamain Sterling in this true pick'em. Check out the meat event though, meat boys, because more meat.